and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about my love or lack of love for contemporary dance. It just doesn't make me feel joy. But I can't blame contemporary dance for that. I didn't have a really great relationship with it growing up and accessing it, and yeah, it just wasn't great. I am starting to find joy with contemporary dance, but it's through fusing it with other styles. But I am on a journey of enjoying it, and that feels really good to me. I'm going to speak like from my experience alone. I think it's challenging to ask an autistic person to read deep meaning into contemporary dance pieces when I just don't know what's going on. Like, and I've got to guess and figure out what is happening. So I saw Peaky Blinders, and I went to see it twice because I loved it so much, and it was contemporary. I knew the characters, I knew the storyline, the music was incredible. So the overall thing for me was wow, and I was like, oh my god, I watched a contemporary dance piece and loved it, and drove all the way to Northampton to watch it a second time because it was that good. Okay, but obviously I've watched other contemporary dance pieces where I've been like, what's going on? Don't get it. I'm on board. So yeah, that's where I am with contemporary dance. Also, the way that I was taught it as like a young person, it just wasn't accessible to me. I didn't understand why we were doing ballet and contemporary are the core dance styles that help every other dance style, and I was like, well, what about my salsa and all my other things, you know? It wasn't like gripping my imagination, it wasn't keeping my focus, like in the context I wasn't able to focus because I didn't like it. And I shouldn't have to like something for it to be focused on it if I know why it's useful and why I'm doing it. So yeah, I feel like it wasn't taught in a very accessible way to me, which is why I have a troubling relationship with it. Also, did feel a bit of a dweeb being one of only two brown people in every class, and every dance teacher was white, and I'm like, oh, am I not meant to be here? I should be out doing the other stuff. Okay, cool. I'm not meant to be here, basically. So I'm now going to reference a video, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go and watch it. Like, even if you just go and watch it to have a laugh. A laugh sounds really cruel. Have a giggle at how passionate I was. The year is 2020. I've just shaven my head off. Oh, I've just shaven my hair off, and I'm like, activism, this is my calling, okay? And I make this passionate video about essentially like being the only brown person in a dance class, and how damaging that was to me. And I do it whilst doing improvised ballet in someone's garden. It is a watch. You should definitely go check it out. But I wanted to give a huge shout out actually to one of my favourite styles of contemporary dance, which is Horton. I love Horton technique. I did it loads, like right before I went off to college, and then I've not done it since. And honestly, I don't know if my body would be able to do it anymore. But it's that case of I'd have to go to London to train in it, and it's not accessible to me right now, so I can't participate in it. And the contemporary classes I can participate in, fine, but then they don't have me like Horton does. So Horton is very like, I mean, number one, there's drumming, there's percussion, it's like djembes. It is sick music in a Horton class. It's quite okay. Number two, the 4 times I've been taught Horton. What? It was taught by a black or a brown person. Wow, isn't that an interesting correlation into how my brain works? I was taught by a black or a brown person. I loved it. I was like, yeah, you can do this, I can do this, let's go. And it was technical and it was hard, like ballet level hard tech. Oh, what am I doing? I hope you're feeling it right now. And I couldn't do ballet. Couldn't do ballet. If you watch that video, can't do ballet. But Horton, maybe it wasn't that great, but I felt like I could do it. I felt like I could do it. Also, every time I've done Horton, I've been in a class of black and brown people. What's that? What's that? Another correlation? Another correlation. I felt safe. I felt seen. I felt protected. I felt like I was meant to be there. I felt like I was wanted to be there. The teachers knew how our bodies worked. They knew. I mean, I don't know. It was just great vibes. Oh, basically, I'm doing a lot of referencing to artistry youth dance. That's where I first learnt Horton. Probably the only place I've learned Horton properly. It is a dance organisation for people of the African diaspora. It's the first time I learnt what the word diaspora meant. And I went there from, I guess, age 14 to 16. And it was one of the most life-changing moments of my life. It let me access contemporary dance. Don't worry, I lost it when I went to college and we were no longer doing that sort of fun stuff. But that was fun to me. It let me access contemporary dance. It let me access jazz, like raw, real, old school jazz, and we had incredible teachers, and I was really safe there. I was really, really safe, and it just made me so aware of how unsafe I felt in other environments, and empathize with young people, of the African, of the Asian diaspora that are in places like Suffolk and Norfolk and are the only one, and they're maybe on the verge of, even if it's not a conscious decision, but they're like, no one else looks like me, so I shouldn't be here. The teacher doesn't look like me, so this isn't for me. Whether that's a conscious decision or not, in the back of their head, it's like, I'm not here, I'm not safe, I shouldn't be here. That's what it was for me and every other person I've spoken to. If that's not your experience, that's okay. I'd love to hear about your experience. So I'm kind of starting to think about how I can do that. There's things in the works on what I can be doing to support the next generation of young dancers of the African and Asian diaspora, getting them to know that they can be professional dance artists, they can be professional artists, just creatives. They can take up spaces in spaces that they think aren't for them, but it is for them because I did it, so they can do it, So if any of that sounds interesting, exciting, and you want to know more about it, or you want to maybe support it in some way, please let me know. It's a little crumb of an idea right now. I've got more ideas, but I'm gonna go like this. This is me holding my cards close to my chest. That's my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you come and see Rosy May Finding Joy at Colchester Fringe in October 2023, or maybe a tour in years to come, you'll see the very beginning of the video in the show, unless I change my mind and it doesn't go in. So thanks so much for watching. Come watch me dance, come listen to me talk, and I'll see you soon. Bye.